Hello everyone and welcome to this brand new video, and I'm terribly sorry for the lack of videos recently. I'm genuinely sorry for that. I have not had really time or motivation to really record me building anything, but I have built a lot of RC. I'm sorry about that, but I've built a lot of RCs during this time, and yeah. So I was thinking we're going to start off first with a tutorial for the one which I've got here, which is the Swedish State Railway Trains one. So Swedish State Railway Trains was the train rental company owned by Swedish State Railways. Not really Swedish State Railways, but the Swedish state owned Swedish State Railway Trains, which was a brand basically operated by Trafikverket, that basically rented out trains to different Swedish railway companies. For example, SJ, Sweden State Passenger Operator, for the different routes far north. So yeah. So we're going to first start off here with the bogie suspension, which I build like this for each bogie, and we're going to copy this to the other ones. This. So yeah, quite an important part of the locomotive. These train hulls here are meant to be kind of a springs, and then the deep slate column is meant to represent the actual bogie kind of behind. In reality, this part here would not turn with the bogie, but that is quite hard to replicate in Minecraft, with it still being only 3 meters wide, or slightly more than 3 meters wide. So yeah. Also, I saw someone suggested, I think it was a Long Island Railroad train or something, that will be coming once I've got motivation to design it. I don't really want to work on American locomotives right now, or American wagons, so yeah. Then inside here we're going to get some ornate deep slate pillars like this. And it's only going to extend out this far, and only one block on this side too. Yeah. Then the next step is this here, which is a deep slate corner trim, and that is placed like this. And we're going to repeat this for every wheel of a locomotive. If you want to, you could probably bring it out one more, it's still looking fine, but I prefer to have it like that. And that there is meant to be kind of a bogie frame, because you usually have this bit in front of a wheel too. I want some motion here, not just like a flat bogie side, so I keep a bit of a wheel exposed. Probably a bit more than would be realistic, but it's Minecraft, so yeah. Then I also noticed I did a mistake. So these wheels are not the proper ones. What you should use is the medium single wheel. I used the small one. These are slightly bigger and slightly more accurate. In reality, an RC would have slightly bigger wheels than this, but yeah, it's the best you can get in Minecraft. And the kind of large wheels, what are they called? Ones with the Scotch yoke, they look kind of stupid in this kind of locomotive, so it is what it is. There. Now got all of these done. Then we are going to place this, which is the kind of end of a bogie, which is a cast industrial iron window in a copycat bite, like this, and we replicate that for each bogie, each wheel of the locomotive. So like this, and it's down there, and then it's down there, right? So then we are going to place these here with these in them, pointing inwards, and then we're going to have these going out to the same level as this one. We're going to replicate that for each wheel of a locomotive. Then we are going to play, let's see, what I'm doing, this is just, okay, I'm going to do it here too. Then we're going to put smooth deep slate columns like this on every one of the bogies. And now we are done with the bogies. Which was the first step. Then we need to do the undercarriage detail in the middle, which is quite simple. And this is an Rc6, so you can either have these like tanks under here, you can also like have tanks, and here, which one is that? One of them has more. There's one with tank and box, and there are many different variations. And it really depends on which variant of RC you're building, whether it has 2 tanks, 1 tank, and a box, or 2 boxes. This here is meant to be RC5 or RC6, so we're probably gonna do 1 box and 1 tank. I think is the nicest looking one for this. But you can put basically tanks or boxes depending on how you feel when building. It's one of those details you barely notice, so if it's a tad bit wrong, it really doesn't matter all that much. It's just a block game locomotive. The industrial iron. I'm going to get the sheet metal here, and we're going to put it in here, like this. And we're going to dig down a bit, and then we're going to get, let's see here, one of these copycat bike panel, and we are going to put them underneath here with the same texture in it, like that. Then we're going to get industrial iron supports and make some supports to hold the tanks onto the frame. And the boxes too, like that. So now we are going to go on to the next step, which is the plows. And I fucked up that one, so we're going to look at this one instead. It's the same design basically. So we're going to place these two like this. So this, then we're going to place here, here, and here, with the half layers, and then we're going to put one of those in there, and then we're going to put in any kind of red concrete in there, and you've got the proper plow for an RC6 or 5. Then we're going to bring this up by 1 block, and those are going to be these, and with that placed, we are now done with undercarriage, which means, yeah, it's like that, it's meant to be, which means we're then going to place headstocks all around the locomotive. In the front we're going to place buffers, and a screw link in the middle, or or if you want to run American stuff, you can put like this, and see here, knuckle, like that. But I'm running European, so we're not going to do that. I need to place this all around the sides of locomotive, because this is what I've used for the kind of undercarriage skirting that goes over some of the ugly bits of the locomotive to make it look nicer. It's also part of the structural frame, so yeah. So with this here done, we're now going to fill it in with deep slate, and let's see here. So with the RC series of locomotives, it's important that you get the doors right, because if you get them wrong, it will look off. And the same with the ladders, so they're on the right side. These RC cabs have only one door on one side of the locomotive, instead like usual, where you have 2 doors per cab. Placed like this, and then we're going to keep this going. This. There. Also need one here for the other ladder. And we're going to do the same on this side. Then we're going to get some of these for the middle and these for the outer bits. And now we are going to start work on the body of a locomotive, which this one is quite simple. So we're going to take like this, and we're going to build out like this. Actually, we're only going to do the bottom part with these. Right, yeah. We're going to do the same on the other side. Like this. I'm going to fill in this here. Then the front we are going to leave kind of empty. But we are going to place these like this. On the inside we're placing these like this. Then we're going to place these red grey concrete and smooth red concrete. Smooth red concrete there. The middle one too, and then back 2 blocks like this until you get that result. We're going to replicate the same on the other side like this, and like that, and that. Then we're going to put the lights on, which are my own Armor's Workshop parts. I'm probably releasing these on the global skin library. Maybe late. They will probably be out when this video is up. hopefully, but I don't know, I'm not sure yet. So that's the handrails for the locomotive. So then it's time to start work on the sides, which is quite simple. We're going to place a door here. It doesn't really matter which ways it goes. I prefer to have them going towards the center of the locomotive, but that's just personal preference. And same for the cab doors. And we're going to put red concrete there and red concrete there. Then we're going to get this, this and that. So we're going to get simple andesite pillars like this, and these are going to be placed in all the copcuts except the doors. And we're going to get cut blank andesite and cut blank diorite like this for those. And then we're going to place like this, which is so that we can, so it's easier for us to place all the panels. That should not be like that. Neither should that. Okay. Because these are all bike panels, it's way easier for us to actually place them when we're doing it like this. Place 2. There's going to be a window here which we're going to mark out so we don't forget. Then we're going to replicate this here 2 blocks apart, always. So like this. Glass windows, and then we're gonna do the same on the other side. And placing the windows. And we're gonna place in the glass like this. Then we're going to place in these diorite bits here. These are copcat vertical slices with diorite in them. And something happened. Okay, just shader reloading. Then we are going to get this here, which is a framed collapsible copcat block from Frame Blocks, and we're going to place those for the kind of middle bit. They're 4 pixels wide and 1 pixel thick, like that. Then the next step is to remove all this junk, and since this here is just a tutorial build, we can just like do this from a machine room. But if you want to actually detail it, you can. The detail I've got in mine isn't fully accurate. It's actually from a Swedish SSRT Railway class MA, or kind of inspired by, with the big blower units and such. DA, I think it was some older one. what it was based on. So it's not accurate for an RC class or anything like that, but it's an interior at least. Usually adds quite a bit of life when you can actually look in the machine room and see gauges and crap in there, instead of just a black space. Then for the floor of the machine room, you can either use boards and have shit on the walls, or you can use these and just kind of slap them down lazily without anything. Depends if you're building proper interior or not. If you're building proper interior, I'd recommend boards. And it's on to the next step, which is the roof. So first we're going to start with the ventilation for locomotive. We're going to do it like this. See these on top here. So the outer three ones are going to be industrial iron windows, and the inner ones are going to be industrial iron supports, like this. And then we are going to replicate exactly the same on the other side. And let's see here, slate. Then we are going to put deep slate pillars on the interior here. Kind of behind these, not the interior. This is going to be on the exterior for locomotive anyway, so it's stupid of me to say. If you didn't know, the Rc6 actually has bigger vents than most other RCs, except for the Rc1. In upgraded condition, some of Rc1s got bigger vents too, similar to the Rc6 ones. That's what you can see with the Rc2s over here, how they are smaller in the middle. The original Rc1 and Rc3, you can see there are basically no big vents on them, like these. Or the Rc2. Originally, all of RCs had small vents. That was then RC1, RC2, RC3 and RC4 were all delivered with small vents, but then they got upgraded over time, and RC6 was the only one that was delivered with big ones, what I know. So, and then all of RC5s got turned into RC6s later. One of the reasons I've heard why they upgraded vents on all RCs was to reduce the risk of snow getting into the system, which is something I've heard of happening. Then we're going to place these copycat layers here and here, and put deep slate columns in them. Then we're going to get the we're going to get the bites, and we're going to place basically the whole roof in the middle out of just bites. I love bites, definitely not. Like that, and then we're going to place these here, like that. Then we're going to get this, this, and that. So we're going to place these like this, this, and then that like that. We're going to place these under where every kind of insulator is placed, and yeah, it's not that hard. I'm going to place my lights like this. Those will also be available on the global skin library soon. This is kind of front end of the roof, and we're going to fill it in with eroded deep slate like this. We're going to replicate this on the other side. Okay, so then we're going to start work on the roof detail, which is quite simple really. It consists of the pantographs and the stuff here. Right. We're going to get those, and we're going to get that. And also, wait, those I need. Those I don't need, so we're going to get that too. It's quite simple really. So we're first going to start with pantographs, which is a side like this, and then like this. Once you've got this here built, you're going to place the windows here, supports there, and train hulls for insulators like that. We're going to place a train hull for insulators on each one of these like kind of bits here, like that. And then we're going to place these here, going in between all of these. Right, except for that, which needs to go like this. This here needs to be a separate one too. There is going to go like this, and these are going to be like this. You see this? So this is kind of how it should look when it's not all filled in. I'm going to obviously place those on there. Let's see which one I gave. Okay, there they are. Right. Then we're going to place these like this. And then we're going to have blocks of copper like this. And we're going to have these in here. And the last kind of roof part is a pantograph, which we are going to place now. Sadly, pantographs and wires does not have a double arm one, so if you want a 2-arm pantograph, kind of diamond shaped one, that was originally fitted to all RC locomotives, you can get that from modern train parts instead. But the pantographs and wires ones look better for many locomotives, though they are a bit too big in my opinion. So Then the next part is the cab, which is quite simple on these. All you really need is a train control and a seat. So that is what we are going to do here. Put a train control there and a seat there. You can obviously hide a blaze burner in here if you want, and build a fancy cab if you want, but this here is like the bare minimum that's necessary to run it. Then the next part is to glue it, and this is quite simple. I'm going to glue these as one entity, other bogey as one. Need to get an in. Invisible bogey under here, so we can have the bogeys here pivot and have a locomotive body not kind of be jankly stuck to the bogeys. So in real life, the bogeys will not turn. They will kind of turn around this bit, basically straight below the pantograph. They will turn around and follow the curves that way. But the locomotive body will not kind of be attached to the bogey frame, because that would make the locomotive very rigid. So you could basically handle fuck all curves. Although there are some locomotives where you've got obviously jackshaft drive, so you've got a lot of wheels coupled together with coupling rods, and that is not very good for high speeds and sharp turns. From my knowledge, the last kind of jackshaft powered electric locomotive in mainline service was the Swedish State Railway DA, or the DM3, which were retired in the early 2000s. Obviously not by SJ, but by private operators, but yeah. So now this thing should be fully glued, the bogies being separate and all. Let's just check that it is. So you can see here, this is one part. You can see all the blue is one part. Then the bogies are still green, which means that they are a separate part. Yeah, should be fine now. So let's assemble it. First time I've assembled a train in this world, apparently. Let's get it on here and let's take it out for a short test run. So I haven't pasted in my stations or anything in this world. You'll see here how it looks driving with shaders and cool PBR. Here, another comment with some. Yeah. Let's get a curve out and see. And I'm going to show you how it kind of behaves on curves. So yeah, that should be plenty big for one of these. You can see how the bogies actually pivot separately from the locomotive body here. It's a bit cursed with the suspension being stuck to the bogey instead of car body, and the plow too, but it's a kind of sacrifice for ease of gluing. If you wanted to, you could probably get rid of that little bit of thing and not have it clip if you have really tight curves. But if you have nice curves like me, that probably won't be a big issue. Also, before anyone takes that out of context, please don't. Yeah, might give out schematics for this one later on, maybe, I don't know. If you want schematics, tell me in Discord, send me a DM, and if you're a serious enough sounding guy, I might give out something, if you ask kindly. But yeah, this here has been enough video for today, and I don't want to record more crap now, and there's nothing more to show with this locomotive. So yeah, this has been it for today, and well, bye.